Hi traders, Jason here from DTB Traders. I got it right this time. Can you believe it? First time, first shot off the hit, off the bat. Okay, so this video is going to be for those who have taken advantage of the complimentary indicator offering that was released. So for those who have not taken advantage of it, there's literally a link in this video that is going to send you through to a Google form where you just have to complete your email address and your machine ID and answer a few questions, and then that will send me an email for me to be able to license your complimentary indicators. So there are 2 indicators in this set that I'm giving out to you guys, and I want to reiterate that this is a 100% complimentary offering. So I'm not going to be emailing you, I'm not going to be spamming you with these get rich quick scheme offers promising you $1,000 a day trading these indicators. This is literally going to be for those who want to make a bit of extra money trading. They want to have it as a side income and even generate a good consistent income with it. So definitely take advantage of it. You know, you're going to find that these tools are by far the most superior tools that you've ever used in your entire life, in trading that is. Okay, so definitely grab them. I mean, there's no strings attached with this. If you've watched my previous video where I actually released that, I explain exactly why I'm doing this. Okay, so let me just start from the beginning. So this video is definitely going to be something that you will want to watch over again, or at least certain parts of it, because there's going to be specific training on these indicators, how to use them, what to look out for on the charts. So let's jump straight into my desktop. So if you give me a second, I'm going to just bring that up. Okay, it is this one over here. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to just start from the beginning, and I'm going to start with the guys who have already downloaded the indicators. So if you have downloaded the first indicator that came out a few months ago, and within the last 2 weeks, you know, if you signed up prior to 2 weeks ago, then this is definitely the step to take. So the first thing you would do is go to your tools, remove NinjaScript assembly. And if you see the DTB Shadow Trading comp in there that says up to December 33, then you know that you have to continue with this step. So what you need to do is just click on the assembly that you see over there and click on remove. Okay, this is even a good idea if you have, you know, updated to the latest one that I have released, and this will just give you an opportunity to start fresh. And also, a lot of you are going to have to reinstall NinjaTrader down the track. So this is definitely going from the beginning, just to make sure that you guys are 100% set up for success on this. Okay, so while that's going, I just wanted to bring up this this risk disclosure again, because, you know, it's very important to understand that there are, you know, risks associated with trading. You know, so, you know, the tools that I provide and these complementary indicators are not a guarantee that you are definitely going to make money trading the market. You know, it's definitely up to each individual person's, you know, tolerance, their way of trading. You know, there's a lot factored into how successful you can or cannot be. So definitely understand that, you know, futures trading is not for everybody, and even with the most advanced, powerful tools in the world at your disposal right here, there's no guarantee of success with them. But what I can tell you is that, you know, I've said this before, if you are able to use these tools effectively, then you know that you have a shot at trading, because as you're going to see in the next few minutes, you're going to see how incredibly accurate these tools are at displaying what price is doing at the moment and where it's likely to go next. Okay, so switching back to the desktop, so I've removed that assembly. So once you've submitted that form, you've got a link. Okay, now that link is going to be emailed to you immediately after submitting it, and this is the link over here. So if you go copy that link in the email that you receive and you go to a web browser, so I'm just going to open this up, and I'm going to right click and just go into it. Just give me a second. Why is this thing later? Okay, so I'm going to paste and go, and that's going to take you straight to the download link. Now, when you get to this page, the best thing to do is actually just to click on the download all button. So download that, and it's going to zip the file. Okay, so we'll give that a moment to zip. Once it has zipped, there might be some error messages that come up saying, this could be a potentially dangerous file or whatever. Just, ignore those, because you need to download these files. If you don't want to accept the risks and whatever it says with this, then don't continue, obviously. So go to the folder in your download. So it's going to automatically download it to your downloads folder. Now, very important, guys, to follow with these steps, because a lot of you guys have actually got this wrong. You've tried to import this file into NinjaTrader and you've got an error message. So we need to make sure we do this properly. So right click on the file and click on 7-zip. So if you haven't got 7-zip, it's a nice little unzipping tool. It's completely free, but whatever unzipping tools you have, they can work. So go to 7-zip, go to extract files, and just extract them. Okay, now what that's going to do, it's going to create a folder in your downloads called DTB Shadow Trading Comp. So double click on that, open them up, and it's very important here too to click on the view as details, because you want to be able to read what it says over here. Okay, so once you've done that, it's a good idea if you've got an extra screen, this is helpful too, but I'm going to just do it on the one screen over here. So it specifically says, if you want to use the sound files, open up your computer. So go to, local drive, program files, or program files 86, find NinjaTrader 8, and in this section, you are going to see it's going to tell you over here, it says sound files, save contents to C drive, program files, NinjaTrader 8 sounds. Okay, so we're going to double click on this folder. We're going to select all of these sounds in here. We're going to copy, and we're going to do what it said over there. We're going to go to sounds, see, program files, NinjaTrader 8 sounds, and we're going to paste them in here. Now I've already got the files, but and these files are just ones that you can use to inside the indicator. So as an example, I'll click on this.
And Q divergence.
I mean, it's just a computer generated voice that is going to
and Q reversal setup.
Just give you some voice prompts when certain things happen with the indicator. So really cool to use. And you can go create your own, whatever instrument you're using. It's just good to have these alerts set up so that you don't have to be watching the charts and specifically waiting for signals to present. Okay, so once you've done that first one, I'm going to just go to the back arrow and I'm going to go templates. So next one says templates, save contents to documents, NinjaTrader 8 templates chart. So I've given you guys actual templates to use this effectively. So not only chart templates, but also the indicator templates and a workspace. So this is really going to get you guys set up from the very beginning without having to try and put things together yourself. It's going to be giving you a really powerful start to these complementary tools. Okay, so let's do that quickly. So we're going to go to documents, NinjaTrader 8, and we're going to go to templates. Okay, and chart. Okay, so you see, you're just copying what it says over there. Okay, so I'm going to select these, I'm going to copy them, and I'm going to paste them over here. Again, I have them there, but I'm just going to re-copy over them. Okay, next one. So next step is to go to documents, templates, indicator. So we're going to go to the indicator. So templates on the right hand window, and we're going to select indicator, and we're going to take these two folders and we're going to copy and paste them on this page. Don't paste them in another folder, paste them so that they're individually there. Okay, again, we're going to go back to this one. So we've done that. Last one is Workspaces. Okay, so we're going to go to Workspaces and we're going to copy this, and we're going to go to NinjaTrader 8, and then there's Workspaces over there, and I'm going to paste that in there. Okay, so that is everything set up where it needs to be. So when you guys watch this a bit later, I'm actually going to edit the start here this file to point to this very specific video that I've just released right now. So the video that you're on now is in the start here. So if you're watching this video after I've released this later on today or even today, you won't have to really go in here again. This is just if you are sending somebody else here. So if you're giving somebody else this link to download these tools, make sure you send them. This link is going to have the video that you're currently watching in it. Okay, the second one is the README file. This is just going to be a document explaining a little bit about the indicators themselves. So, what you're looking at on the chart, what the different templates are. There's quite a lot of training in there. I've even got another detailed video on the indicator specifically that you can click on that link. I've got, I give a bit of information on the volume analysis indicator, which we'll go into more today. And I just show, more information about that. And then I also, at the end of this document, show you a little bit of what the DTB system looks like. Now, very, very few of you are going to treat trading as a full-blown business. Okay, very few of you are going to take it, that seriously that you want to create a large income out of it. And for those of you who want to do that, the complete DTB system is definitely going to get you there. So the complementary indicator is really great to earn extra money and to gain a consistent return. But if you want to take it really seriously, the next step is looking at the DTB system. So this just goes through a little bit of what this looks like, and you're going to see things here that you have never seen before, and it's going to completely actually blow your mind. Actually, you might not even see it here, but on some of the future videos that I'm going to make, I'm going to be explaining the tools that we have in the DTB system, and it's like nothing that exists. You're going to be completely blown away, and I'm going to explain why the tools specifically are fundamental for trading. Okay, so let's get out of this document. Okay, so here we go. Next step. So once you've got this folder on your PC, the next thing to do is, if you can, just restart NinjaTrader. It's a very good idea to restart NinjaTrader. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going to Tools, Import. This is after you've restarted NinjaTrader, NinjaScript add-on. Okay, so and now what you're going to do is you're going to scroll to your downloads folder. You're going to go into the folder that you downloaded. Remember, not this zip file here, so not the initial file that you downloaded. You want to go into the unzipped folder. Okay, so you're going to go in there and you're going to find this very specific file. Okay, this is the file that you have to import into NinjaTrader. So click on that. Click on open, and that is going to put the script into NinjaTrader. Okay, now at this stage, if you've got NinjaTrader open, you have to close it, and this is because the workspace is not going to be accessible until you've restarted NinjaTrader. So let me just close NinjaTrader. Okay, and I'm going to reopen it. So I'm going to double click and reopen it. So 1 second. Okay, so I just double clicked on NinjaTrader. It's gonna open up in a moment. Give it a few seconds. There's the control panel. So, you know, sometimes NinjaTrader takes a bit of a while to open. It definitely helps. I've just got some workspaces open, so let me just close that workspace. Okay, control panel, workspaces. I just want to close this. Okay, so when you've got NinjaTrader open again, like, try have 0 workspaces open. So make sure you've only got like an untitled workspace available, and then click on the workspace that I've given you guys. So this one is called 1 DTB Traders Comp Range Chart Setup. So click on that, and you know, it might come up with this message depending on what screen you've got it set up on, but just click on yes, and that is going to give you the workspace of the tools already, you know, put together onto the chart. So you can just go and slightly adjust, you know, if you want to see the chart, you know, a bit larger on the screen like that, you can certainly do that. Give it a few seconds to load up. You know, make sure there's no calculating. If you see calculating on the top, just wait for it to complete. And then once that's happened, you know, you'll be able to see the chart. So what you're going to notice on these charts is you're going to notice that they are going to have both of the complementary indicators loaded. So if you right click on the chart and you go to indicators, you'll see that it's actually got the indicators loaded, and there's actually 3 iterations of the volume analysis on the chart already. And you'll see we've got a 10 range chart, and I've just got MNQ over here. You can have, you know, obviously any instrument that you want to trade, but you know, start with MNQ just because it moves, you know, fast enough. Also MES, but you're going to see something very similar to this. Now, there's one other thing I wanted to mention. If you are using like a white background, it doesn't show the tools as effectively as it would, you know, if you had like a nice gray background. So if you want to adjust that, just go to Tools and Options, and in the Options section you're going to see the skin, you know, slate gray. So slate gray I found to be the really, you know, to be the best looking you know, skin for NinjaTrader and using these tools. And a good thing to do too is to change your time zone to UTC -5, and this is going to be very helpful if you guys are going to be sharing screenshots, you know, between you guys. So, you know, a cool thing to do. So once you've done that, you'll see, you know, this is what that's going to look like. So as I mentioned, we've got a 10 range chart, we've got a 15 range chart, we've got a 30 range chart, and I've even got the MES in here. So there's the 5 range, and I've got a 10 range. So, you know, these are just charts that you can start off with and see, you know, how you go. Okay, so let's go into specifics on this. So what I'm going to do first, you know, and if you look at the bottom, you'll see there's 5 tabs over here. So if you right click on a chart and you go template load, you will see that there are, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've actually listed 1 to 5, and each of the tabs at the bottom has got a template on. So obviously the first tab is going to be 1, second tab 2, 3, 4, and 5. So those are the templates that you're going to be able to load. So every time you load up a new chart and you want to load a specific template on, you can actually just right click on the chart and load that template. So I'll do that right now. So load, and you know, get it refreshed, and what will happen, it's going to load that template. Okay, so a really cool way to actually start. Now I'm going to start off with the shadow trading indicator on its own. Okay, so let me just remove the volume analytics or the volume analysis that we've got on here. So I'm going to just go to the volume analysis and just remove these just temporarily. and I'm going to just load up the shadow trading itself. Okay, so this shadow trading indicator is going to have a few things to see on the chart. So you're going to notice these red lines on top, and you're going to notice these green lines at the bottom. Okay, so they basically just, real-time support and resistance lines. Okay, now those lines are going to adjust as the price moves. So historically, these specific lines are going to repaint depending on what the market price action is. Okay, now that's not a bad thing, because as I've spoken in a previous video, showing this indicator, there are amazing opportunities to be able to trade the price as it enters these areas and then jumps out of them. Okay, so we're seeing right now how the price is, in this area, and what will happen is as soon as the price closes outside of the zone or within the zone, it's actually going to paint an arrow. So there we go. So in real time, you are going to see arrows painted on the chart. Now, these arrows themselves do not repaint at all. So once that arrow paints there, it's never going to change. Okay, that is where that arrow is going to plot. Okay, so when I say that this indicator does not repaint, I'm referring to these very specific arrows on the chart that are there, and they paint immediately when that bar is closed, even if the price continues up. So if you look over here on this top section, you will see that there were 4 arrows there. So we had an arrow appear, the price went up again, another arrow, another arrow, another arrow, and then the price eventually went down. Over here, we saw the price form an arrow, come down a little bit further, form another arrow, and that's where it is now. And historically, if you look on the chart, you are going to see instances where there's an arrow, another arrow, another arrow. So, I mean, that is showing you with 100% certainty that there's no repainting on these arrows. Now, you're also going to notice that there's this momentum line. So you see this cyan and magenta line over there. That line is a free-flowing line on the chart. Okay, so if you look at the far right of the chart, that is where it is in real time. Okay, so I'm going to just clear out these very specifics at the moment. And if there's any questions of anybody in the chat, I had an issue the other day when I was trying this. I actually had a very bad episode of trying to do this video the other day, and it was a complete disaster. I mixed up the time and everything. So if there's any questions while anybody is watching, you can just chuck them in the chat and hopefully they'll come through. Okay, so like I said over there, these arrows are going to plot in real time, and very, very often they are going to give you reversal points in price. Okay, so we actually watched this in real time now, how the price, formed these arrows and, has gone up, 26 ticks so far. Okay, on this very specific move, that this indicator has provided. So, now I must make it very clear that you cannot go and act on every single arrow that you see and go like, full lots and go crazy on every arrow, enter huge positions, because, it's not designed to be traded on every arrow. There's a lot of other things to look at than only just focusing on the arrows, which is why I've actually provided a duplicate, an additional indicator to give you extra support in that regards for your trades. So like I said, before on previous videos, if you use a bit of money management, if you use like a good trading plan and you don't use a gambling approach, if you make consistent trades based on the arrows and a few other things you see on the chart, you are going to gain consistency with your trading. Okay, now there are a few other things that are important to look at, that is not showing you on this chart, but fundamentally just acting on the signals presented, when they work with a few other aspects of the chart or of the indicator, you're able to get a high percentage of trades in your favor. So looking back at the chart, now look at this momentum line that you're seeing here now. You will notice that historically on the chart, it's going to change. You see, it's going to, like you see over here over there. You see how now it's coming near the price. Okay, so some would say that's a repaint, but it's actually not, because you are only looking at the far right of the chart. So this is a moving line. Even if you squeeze the chart like this, you'll see that it's not impacted by price. Okay, so this momentum line is where it is. It's not impacted by price. Now, while I'm doing this, it's important to understand too that you can't actually squeeze the chart like that. So if you ever see an F on the top right hand corner, just click on that, because that's going to position the indicator exactly how it is supposed to be positioned. Okay, and on the far right of the chart is where you're going to be making your trading decisions. So looking at that momentum line, one of the most powerful signals that the indicator provides is the price going up, and you see divergences, and the momentum line is facing down. So that is often a very good pull for price. So the momentum line is like the true direction of price. It's where price is more likely to go. So following that momentum line on the far right, it's going to give you a very, very good indication of what price is likely to do. And as soon as the momentum line really deviates from price like this, it's like a magnet for price. So entering trades when you see the momentum line far from price and you're seeing like a higher high, you see a momentum line change, the line changes to cyan and the bars turn to gold, a powerful time to enter the market. So you can watch this in playback too, if you want to see it at speed. But generally, if you just watch the chart for a couple of hours, you enter a few trades based on what you are seeing on the chart, you're going to see that your consistency is definitely going to increase. Now, a few very important things to understand is the coloring of the bar. So I've tried to make it as visually clear as possible. So when you see gold bars, it means the sellers are in control of the price. When you see the bars green, it means the buyers are in control of the price. So it gives you a really good indication of who's in control of the price. And also, if you look at the momentum line, if that momentum line is continually facing down, and as you can see, it's trying to, the price is trying to reverse. As you can see, the momentum line is, is trying to give that signal. But if that momentum line is facing down, and the bars are gold, that is not a time to go long. So even if you took a long position over here, you're thinking, at this point over here, you're thinking, oh God, look at that momentum line, it's deviating beautifully, I'm going to go long. Okay, first of all, that momentum line wasn't actually facing up, so you needed to really face up to be a clear signal. And if you did by some chance take a long position, you want to be out of that position the moment that momentum line changes color again, because this momentum line, it's exactly the same as the arrows. It does not repaint. So the moment that a bar closes and the momentum line is cyan, that bar, that coloring of that momentum line will stay like that forever. So you'll see it happens over here. You'll see you got magenta, you got cyan, magenta, cyan, magenta, cyan. So those are the bars that it actually happened on. So, you are definitely able to get, long runs in price, and very often the price is just going to run down. We don't know what caused this very specific rundown in price. This is only a 10 tick bar at the end of the day, right? So, you know, we're looking at very, very small movement in price. I mean, that move is only like 280 ticks, you know, which is a fair amount. But when you're looking at a 10 tick bar, you're picking up a lot more of these market movements, you know, a lot quicker. So you're going to see, okay, buyers are in control. Now, as soon as you see the bars turning to like a tomato color and like a deep red, that means it's majorly overbought. So there's a likelihood that price is going to reverse soon. Okay, so that is the one thing to look at. The next thing to look at is when the bars turn cyan and like this purple color, also a very, very high likelihood that the price is going to reverse, even if it's a short distance away. Okay, so, you know, looking at this, you're often going to see this. I mean, this is one of the most powerful things to look at for this indicator is when you're seeing the momentum line facing right down, okay, right down, and you're getting slightly higher highs. What's happening here is, you know, they're taking out stops before they push the price down. I mean, that is what they do. They want to, you know, fill their positions. They want to take out stops. Their true intention is actually to push the price down, but they want to take out stops first. So, you know, this is what this indicator is going to continually do for you. It's going to continually give you signals. You know, when the momentum line is right with the price, you know, watch out for that. But when you see a sharp turn in direction like this, and you see the momentum line facing right up, but you're still getting lower lows, that is also an amazing opportunity to get in. Now, obviously, I saw what was going to happen ahead, but if I go back anywhere on the chart, if I just do that, and you watch the momentum line, in real time, what you're going to see on the right is what you are going to be seeing, okay? So you're seeing how the price, I mean, look at that momentum line, it's now facing up. So, you know, you're seeing how it's like a magnet for the price, and then you're going to see it cross over. So it's quite an amazing thing to watch, and you'll see how, you know, it crosses over, the price makes more highs, the momentum line is facing down, and it's like a magnet for the price. So, you know, you'll very often see how powerful, you know, these signals are just watching this chart. Again, you're not going to be acting on every single arrow that you are seeing on the chart, you know, especially if the momentum line is below the price. You do not want to be going long when the momentum line is below the price. Okay, it's only when the momentum line switches over, you know, you're seeing, you're seeing the arrows form, the momentum line facing up, you know, that is going to give you some, you know, powerful signals. And this is just using the shadow trading indicator. So, you know, I've got quite a few traders who only trade this indicator. They love it to bits. I mean, and that's because look how damn powerful it is. Okay, so like I said before in a previous video, if you cannot be consistent, if you can't make consistent gains using a tool like this, then there's really no point in trading at all. Okay, so that is why I released these tools. You know, because there's a lot of crap in the market at the moment promising you to make $1,000 a day with this shitty little $79 indicator, and you know, they're just basically sucking people in, absolutely bullshitting them, and people are on this freaking mouse wheel going round and round, trying the next thing, and you know, these companies unfortunately are taking advantage of that and not really helping people. So, you know, I want you guys to use these tools and, you know, become consistent and actually make money with them before you even decide to take it further and look at what else I have to offer. Okay, so, I mean, just notice how often and how good, you know, this momentum line is. So you're going to see, obviously, when the momentum line is above the price, you don't want to be taking short positions, right? So just watch this for a while. I mean, even if you just go on a chart like this and you scroll back, you will quickly see how price, you know, has these ebbs and flows, you know, and it goes, you know, you're able to jump into positions depending on what the momentum line is doing. So just look at the chart and make some trading decisions. And look how beautiful we've had that reversal that we watched in real time earlier. Now again, the price went right up to the second zone. You see, now we're in the overbought territory. So very, very, very often the price is going to jump around between support and resistance. So it's going to jump around between these red and green lines. Okay, it's going to happen like that all the time. Now we watched this in real time, how that happened over there, but that's exactly what the price is doing. You know, it's very often just going to jump around and bounce around between these areas, but not all the time, right? So you've got to watch on the far right of the chart and see where exactly those support and resistance areas are and act on them on the far right of the chart. Okay, so let me just clear that away. Okay, so I think I've covered on how to trade this. So you're looking at arrows, you're looking at the momentum line, you're looking at the support and resistance, you know, you're looking at the coloring of the bar. So you can see how that bar over there changed color mid-bar. So that is like the zero line. As soon as the price touches, you know, the seller's territory on the tick, it's actually going to be painting that color. Again, not going to repaint. If this bar closes yellow, that bar will be yellow forever. And that's what you've seen previously over here. So you'll see you're going to have green bars, yellow bars. That means there's a tug of war between the buyers and the sellers. That's exactly what's happening there. Now, very rarely are you going to have the price go straight up and straight down. It's just going to be bouncing around. So, you know, this is what you are looking for on this indicator. Now, in the specific settings of the indicator, you are going to notice there are a few things to look at. So let's just bring that up. Okay, so first of all, there's the link to the folder. So every now and then you can look at this folder, copy and paste that into a browser like we just did earlier, and you'll see if there's any new documents there, if there's any more information there. You know, that's what you're going to see over there. Now, these are the sound alerts. So you can have specific sound alerts for the arrows. So, okay, so if you tick that box, every time an arrow presents, you can choose your sound. So if you're trading M&Q like we are right now, you might want to go and, you know, create an M&Q sound over there. Now, I didn't create M&Q, but I did create NQ. So, you know, you can go create your own wave sounds. So that, you know, this is available to you guys. But, you know, if you can basically select any of these sounds that you've got there, and what will happen is when the arrow comes up, it'll alert. Same with divergences. So the divergences are when you see a dotted line like that. So when you see an arrow with a dotted line, that means there's a divergence. Now, divergences are very, 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 very often a precursor to price reversals. Okay, so, you know, I'm trying to speak as simply as possible. I know a lot of people use very complicated terminology because they like to sound smart. Okay, frankly, I don't want to sound smart. I want to try and make this as simple as possible for you guys to understand. Okay, so there's crazy terminology. Shit, I watched some of these videos of these traders, you know, talking about what's happening on the charts, and they've got this major freaking terminology. It's like, I don't know what the hell you're even talking about. You know, what the hell are you going on about? So that's another key pointer. You know, have a quiet environment where you're trading. Try to keep it as simple as possible, and just look at what price is doing. You know, screw all the noise out there. Okay, so you can create the alerts over there for your divergences. You can change the period length. So the period length is just basically how often or how much the momentum line changes. So if you go make this, so if you got a 10 bar like we have, it's good to have, you know, like a 10, but you can actually make this a much wider range of bars, and the momentum line will change a bit a bit less. You'll see it just changes a bit less. Similar to how a moving average will basically even out more the longer you create this. Well, it's a similar concept with this. If you make it like a 10, it's going to be very, very up and down, like, it's going to be crazy. So keep that to a range. You might want to just work with the existing templates that I have, and the good thing is that I cover different size charts, so you can definitely look at different size charts and see, you can work with the different lengths. Now this direction line, okay, so you're going to see if I activate this direction line, you will notice that it's got a red line on the chart. So this line, this direction line, is the exact value of the current bar. So when it's in minus like it is now, the bars are going to be gold. When it goes to green, it's going to be plus. So this shows you exactly where the zero line is. So at the moment the bars are on -2, -1.2. So as soon as this, on the tick that this goes into positive territory, the bar is going to go green. And if the bar closes in positive territory, look at this, 0.21. Look, that was just on cue. Can you believe it? In real time. See, there we go. It's gone to minus territory, positive territory. So you're going to constantly see these values on this line. Now, you don't have to have this line visible on the chart. Okay, it's an option. You can have it or not have it. Okay, so that is there. And that's just a personal preference if you actually want to see the specific value of that line. Okay, and you can change the coloring of it, you can change the width of it, the font. The next thing is the center line. So this is the same, this is where the price, this is where that direction line would need to go to be on 0. So if I go and activate the direction line and the center line at the same time, you will see that when the green line touches the gold line, that's negative territory. So it gives you an indication of, where price or where that line would need to go before the price goes to negative territory. So that's what that line is there. So it's the center line. So that's the 0 line. And you'll notice that this green line will go up and down, change red. Obviously, it'll be red when it goes below the gold and green when it goes above. So super simple. So I'll just deactivate this. So those are optional little extras you can have on your chart. Again, you can change the coloring. There's also an option over here to hide the momentum line. So if you do not like the momentum line for whatever reason, I don't recommend this, but I mean, if you really do not want to see this momentum line, you can actually just you can hide it. Okay, so you can basically click on this line here and it will take that momentum line off the chart. Okay, so I'm hiding it. Let's see if, I hope it works. Okay, there we go. So you see it's taken that momentum line off. Now the momentum line obviously is a very clear thing. It's a very good thing to have. So I wouldn't recommend that, but I have just put it there, just, I don't know, because some people might want to have it out the way. Okay, you've also got an option here to paint the bars from the momentum line. So this is a pretty cool thing. Now if I do this, you will see that it's going to change the coloring of the bars to, you'll see it's going to change. So as soon as the momentum line changes color, it's going to change the coloring of the bars. So you'll see there, green bars when they're cyan, and green bars magenta, and red bars when it's cyan. So as soon as that changes, as soon as you have that setting used, the bars are going to color those specific colors. Now again, you've got the opportunity here to go and change the specific coloring of the brush. So if you don't want lime and red, you can go and make these as whatever color you want. So like there's an olive. I don't know. You might want to make it olive and coral. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. So you can see I'm trying to make it as user friendly for people who want to have a specific color scheme. Some people might be freaked out with red and green, you know, I don't know. There's just you know, all these things you gotta think of, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna reset that. So those are the options there for that. Now you can also have the arrows, so you can change the size of the arrows. Now not many people will do that. You know, you might want to make the arrows slightly larger, which that'll do. You want to maybe even make them smaller. I mean, I don't know. You might want to rely less on the arrows, but still see that they're there, and just have them a little bit smaller. Okay, you've got an option here to use confirmation bars. So you can say, okay, you only want to have the coloring of the bars change when there has been 5 bars of that same color, you know, green. So like that will change the color of the bars only when there are 5 bars in that favor. So I mean, there's a few things, you know, you can basically have adjust there. So again, I'll just reset this. So momentum line, okay, confirmation arrows we've covered. Now these are the support and resistance levels. So you're going to see over here on the chart that in real time, when the price touches different levels, it's going to change color. So you'll see the bars will be green and gold, but when it goes to the first line, it's going to go tomato, maroon. So these are the values that the bars will change in color when they're heavily overbought and heavily oversold. And if you don't want to see these red and green lines on the chart, you can also just tick on this box to hide them. So if you don't specifically want to rely on those green and red lines, you can actually untick this. Now, isn't this amazing how you guys have got this for absolutely free? I mean, this is 100% complimentary. Isn't it freaking awesome how, you know, what amazing technology you guys have at your disposal to enter, you know, trades with so much detail and understanding on it. There's another thing here, you can adjust the level of those momentum lines. So say for example, you only want the resistance to be at 10 and 12. What will happen is, you know, those values will change between 10 and 12. So what that means is only when the price goes to a higher value will it paint those arrows. So you're able to go at a much larger distance away from price for the highs and lows, and then you'll catch, you know, more of the larger swing highs and the swing lows. So you're able to adjust those values also, and, you know, change the coloring of that. And you might say, you know, I want the top line to be I don't know, let's go blue. It's not going to look great, but, you know, you might say, you know, you want the top line to be blue and the second line to be red, and you might want to change a bottom color too, to, you know, to another color. So completely customizable to your own specific needs. And there's the lines width. So if you want to see the lines, you know, brighter on the chart or bolder on the chart, you can change the size of them. Okay, look back bars, so don't worry too much about that. That's nothing too important. And it calculates on each tick. So as you can see, the bar coloring changes on each tick. It's extremely, you know, precise. Okay, so that is that. Now you can't use all the plots for an automated strategy. I've kind of disabled that. They're only available on the full DTB system. So I've created this specifically for manual trading. Okay, so that's what you guys are going to be able to do, is manually trade this. All right, so that is the shadow trading indicator covered very nicely. I think that's covered well. So I'm going to try and section or chapter this video to, you know, split up the different training on it. So, you know, you can skip to the next part as an example. Okay, so let's go into, I'm going to just load the template again. So template load, and I'm going to load template number 1. Okay, so that's going to put everything back like I positioned it, and I'm going to go into the indicator settings, and I'm going to just remove the shadow trading indicator. Okay, so I'm going to remove the shadow trading indicator, the one that we just covered. and I'm going to leave the volume analysis. Now, this is out of this world freaking crazy. You know, the opportunities that this provides is second to none. I mean, you're not going to find a more powerful indicator anywhere in any form of trading that is as incredible as what you're looking at right here. And again, this is 100% complimentary for you guys. So, you know, using this in combination with the shadow trading, it is great. It is absolutely bloody fantastic. But we'll cover this indicator just on its own first. So what is going to happen is it's going to be leaving these markers behind also on a tick by tick, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistency. So on the tick that the signal presents, this line is going to be left behind. And what's going to happen is the price is going to react around this line. So this line's often going to be support and resistance. You're going to find that it's going to provide a signal. The price might go up and continue going up, or it's going to come down, break through. But this line is definitely what I call a point of interest. So this is where the banks and institutions are actually putting their plays down. They are showing you, I'm showing you where they are taking major action, where they are deciding that, okay, this is the point where we are going to move the market. And very often, you know, when they eventually do break from that range, that they may even come back and clearly retest it. And then you're going to see the price is going to move, and then another marker is going to get left behind. That is a point where they decided we're going to push the shit out of this price and we're going to run it down. They run it down, retest levels, another marker gets left behind, they push the price. So this is going to continually, these markers are going to continually be repositioning themselves as they plot new signals. Now, you're going to notice there are two values above each line. The top value is how many ticks the price was above the marker when it was left behind. So on the specific bar where this marker is left behind, the price basically was 5 ticks up. So at the close of this bar, literally, actually during the formation of this bar, this marker was left behind, and the price closed on that bar. That marker was left behind on that specific bar, and that is where the signal was. So when this marker was on that bar, the price only went up 5 ticks, and since then the price has gone down 116 ticks. Okay, so that is what the price has done since that specific marker was left behind. The other one here, this one's 127.38. So if you scroll back, you will see, where were we? This one over here, the price went down 38 ticks from when this was basically formed. So, you know, you'll see that is what the value of those markers. So as soon as the price goes lower, if this marker stays in place and the price drops below, that number will increase. If it goes higher, the price will increase. So this is giving you specific tick value that the price has moved on since that marker was left behind. Now again, you may face a situation where the price floats around a marker like this. So again, it's not something that you can act on every single signal and just jump in and say, I'm going to go large over here, I'm going to sell, I'm going to buy, I'm going to sell, and go crazy on it. You know, it's not a standalone indicator. Okay, so, but I mean, this is still showing you, it's still showing you where those points of interest are. Now, you will notice that when the price is reaching these points of interest, you may have arrows from the shadow trading. Okay, now those are going to give you extra confirmation of a buy or a sell. So we'll add that on in a moment. But first, let's have a look at the indicator settings. So you'll notice on this chart, that there are three. There's three on here. Now you can have as many as you want. Okay. So the first one, it's a template. So if you go template and you go load, you'll see those are the templates we put in there earlier. So we've got, this is template number 1. It's got a 200 tick reset, which we'll cover in a moment. But I've basically created these templates where I've combined, or I've made the color of the max up and the max down the same color as the line. So you'll see this line and the colors are the same. Now what this specific one is doing is it is analyzing the 1 minute bars. So secretly behind the scenes, this indicator has loaded up minute bars and it's analyzing the volume on minute bars. So it's similar to like market profile or market, I've seen some major complicated crazy tools that's drawing graphs and waves and freaking mountains on the screen. Completely unnecessary. Okay, this shits on all of that. Okay, this is telling you precisely where the market action is going to happen. You don't need to look at anything else regarding volume. I mean, it completely shits on everything. Not very classy, but that's what it does. Okay, so this is analyzing the 1 minute bars. Then the next one is analyzing the 5 minute bars. The next one I've got here is 15 minutes. So you can go and add any values that you want in here. So you specifically analyzing the volume on specific bars to find out where those points of interest are, where the market is likely to react from. So it's taking the entire time frame of the 1 minute bars. It's looking at a 200 tick range around price, around current price, and it's finding where specifically has volume been pumped in to significantly impact price. So it's extremely technical in the back end, but all you have to know is that these markers are going to be left behind. They're going to be repositioning themselves. They're going to be providing the exact points of interest where action is being taken in the market. So put very simply, that is what they do. Now you'll see it's got a time frame reset. So I added this in recently because it does provide slightly more signals. So ideally, if you're chasing much larger targets and you're chasing fewer signals, you can actually increase this to like 999. Okay, and that will give the most powerful signal that was produced, irrespective of how far price has moved since its last signal. So this is not resetting the indicator. So by changing this number to 200, what we are doing is we are forcing this indicator to give us signals within a specific range of current price, or of range of its last marker. So if you look at this blue one at the bottom, okay, we'll look at the blue one, the royal blue. This one is currently 127.38. So if the price goes beyond 200 ticks of this line, this marker will go and reset, and it will look for the next signal within a 200 tick radius of price. So quite an intricate, exceptionally powerful tool that has got a framework within it to look for signals in a shorter range. Now you can obviously go and reduce this to a smaller range of even like 100. Okay, so like I'll make this all on 100 as an example. And you'll see that this marker repositions itself, and it gave the last signal of where price presented itself. So like there's 100. So there's this next value. So it's more fine-tuned to the closest range of price. Now when the price goes beyond 100, this will recalculate again. Now, like I said, I mean, this is the reason why I created this, is because on different instruments that move a lot less, you want to have more signals created within your trading range that you're in. Now, obviously, the more you are resetting this, okay, the closer you are resetting this to price, the less powerful the signals will be. Because what it's doing is it's forcing the indicator to look for signals in a much smaller range, where it doesn't necessarily mean that that is going to be effective. It's like you're literally forcing it to make signals out of not thin air, but you're forcing it to make signals on volume that isn't really that significant, if you know what I mean. So with the NQ or MNQ, I would definitely leave that at 200. If you really, and I mean, if you really just want to scalp tiny little moves and you want to just, get in the market and out the market with 1 or 2 bars of movement, then you can, experiment with reducing these values. But you are going to receive a lot fewer signals, because, or less, you're going to receive less powerful signals, because you've cut your range right down. But it doesn't mean they're going to be bad, obviously. I mean, you're still going to, like I said, if you've got a money conscious mind, or you got some money management, and you're not over extending yourself on every trade, you're using a fair amount of money management principles, not entering large positions, you will still gain consistency even when you've reduced the range down. Okay, so like I said, often these are areas of support and resistance. So you could have a signal left behind, the price comes and retests it. You can put your stop just the other side of it. Just like we saw now, the price came and retest the level. You could enter an order on that very level and have a 10 tick stop, as an example, and have a 20 tick target. So for ultimate scalping, but remember, you're probably gonna have a lot more losers than winners if you enter a lot of trades this way. But again, it's for minute scalping, which probably isn't the best thing to do if you knew or not fine-tuned for scalping. I would rather leave the chart template exactly like it is, because this is a tried and tested template, and it's showing you where the best settings are. So like I was saying earlier, when you're looking, let me just go back to the indicator settings, because I want to cover that first before we go back to the chart. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we've covered the reset. All right, and we have covered. Okay, so that's basically all the settings in the indicator. So there's not a lot of settings in the indicator. Now you can, if you wanted to, go and work on different values. So you can go. Now, obviously, I've got the complete DTB system on my PC, but I've even got one that takes into consideration seconds. I mean, I've got some incredible stuff that is out of this world. But looking at this, if we go to the volume analysis, say if you wanna load up a new one, you can say, okay, you can even load up a template. You can load up a template like any one of these, okay? And you can say, okay, I want to make this as I want to make this one navy. Okay, so I'm going to go navy and navy. So this is what you will do. You'll change all the colors so you know which numbers are linked to which lines. Okay, and instead of optimizing, we've got 1, 5, and 15. Let's go for the 30-minute one. And instead of a 100 reset, I'm going to make this a 300 reset, because it's looking at larger bars, and those signals will plot a little bit less. And you can go to the width of it. I think I made this as 5. I'm not sure if it was 5 or 6 or whatever. I think it was 6. Again, you can, you know, adjust your values over here. See, now there you've got an additional one. So sometimes adding multiple of these markers on your chart, you can get areas where 2 of them may be together, and you get an arrow, just like we're seeing now. We're seeing an arrow, but we're looking at the momentum line. We're seeing an arrow right at these 2 markers. So this is optimizing, you know, those values of minutes. So very often you can get a situation like this where you can enter positions based on what you are seeing, you know, on the price action. If I can get the stupid thing to click. If you're watching the price action, now remember, when you're seeing the momentum line up, it's not advisable to jump into a position. So wait for that momentum line positioning to come down. Okay, look how it's facing straight up. It's not ready for a short position. This could be a genuine push up. Whereas before, on this one here, we had the momentum line facing up, and then we had a reversal. Now that one was very quick though. So sometimes, I mean, that one was super quick, but you can take a trade around these levels, and they presented quite frequently. Even at the bottom, look at this bottom one here, this 127.38 one. Look how many arrows we have had at the specific, at this volume breakout levels. We've had multiple times where the price has come, retested this, and, you know, jumped up. But then if we look at this one here, excuse me, I've got a bit of a dry mouth. If we look at this very specific one over here, we are seeing the momentum line facing right up. So not a time to be jumping into a short position. This could genuinely be a push up of the market, and it could continue from here. So, you know, there's going to be quite a few signals that are going to present throughout the trading day. You don't have to go and jump on every single one of them. You can take them, you know, you can take a few signals here and there. You don't have to jump on every single one of them. There's going to be more than enough created. If you look at the chart over here, it's between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the last 2 hours, there were plenty of opportunities. So, you know, the idea behind this is to spend an hour or two looking at the chart, entering a few manual trades, gaining consistency with it, without having to look at too much. I mean, you're looking at a very small amount of information. You haven't got a lot happening on your chart. And like I said before, you know, if you want to remove some of the things on your chart or change the color scheme, that is all available to you. So there we've got a few more arrows. We've got 3 arrows. We've got a 4th arrow. The price just, you know, went through that marker. Momentum line is changing color. Look at how the momentum line is changing color. We have got, you know, the price went into a higher high. You know, we didn't have the normal, you know, where the momentum line was facing down for a long time, and then we had a reversal. But, you know, you're going to have opportunities to enter positions that are going to be nice and clear with relatively short stops. I mean, the nice thing is you can have a relatively short stop on this, and, you know, you can have a decent trades, even for scalping. Now you see this one here, it's gone up to 9, so the price went up 9 ticks. It was 5 before, remember? So it went up to 9, and that value is going to stay there until this signal goes and repositions itself. So there we had a slight change. You see that the momentum line changed to cyan. Now it's back on magenta. So there's probably a good chance that this is going to run up, because it's not, you know, this momentum line is still facing up, but it could just bob around you for a while, until they decide where they're going to push it, and then it's going to run from there. So that's the MNQ on the 10. Again, it's a very small chart. Sometimes you might think, oh, you know, I don't want to be trading a 10 range chart. It's very tight. You know, then switch over to a 15 range chart. And during the busier US session, you might even go to a 30 range chart. Geez, you can even right click on this, go duplicate a new tab, drag it back to here next to the 30 range, and you know, you can go to your data series, you know, and make this a, you know, a 60 range or a 100 range, whatever you want to do. So you can basically create larger size bars where you can you know, look at the price on a more of a macro level. You're looking at a much larger movements in price. So, you know, like this type of thing, same thing, you know, markers left behind, retests, you know, these are happening all the time. Okay, let's look at the MES. MES, very simple. Look how awesome this is. So this is one of the templates where it's got 100 resets. So you'll notice that if you go into the indicator settings, you will see that we have a smaller reset range. So we've got all of these indicators. I've got 100 resets. So I've got template. If you go template load, you'll see that we've got 100. You see, these are 100 ones. So they're good for the ES or the MES. So same thing there. These markers are left behind. This first marker was left behind all the way over here. Again, there's zero repainting. Okay, zero repainting. That's where it was left behind. The price went up from there, turned around, came back, retouched this level. The price only went down 6 ticks from that marker and went up 58 ticks from that marker. So it's gone up. This one, the price came down. There's 2 markers on top of each other. So over here, you will see that there's actually 2 markers on top of each other. So don't worry about not seeing the exact values. I mean, it doesn't matter if you can't see the exact values, but that's where those 3 markers are. Again, the price went up, retested it, and has gone up again. So and this is a 5 range. It's a very, very tiny little bar, but still providing a really awesome, you know, entry opportunities to have a small tick stop. I've got a 10 range. So there's the same thing with a 10 range where, you know, the price has gone up, price has reversed, retested, gone up, markers left behind, and so on. So that is what you're looking at. Now, you can, if you want to look at a few different charts, we can do that. So I'm just going to check the indicator settings on here very quickly. So try work with the template that I provided. If you want to open up some different charts, so let's go duplicate in a new tab. Okay, this is a cool thing to do. Just duplicate it in a new tab, and let's go to like the 6E. So if anybody wants to trade the 6E, you can load that up, and the exact same thing will present. Those markers will be left behind where they presented signals. Now this is even more powerful because you've got divergences, you've got arrows, and the price went up. The price went up 34, 40 ticks since these values were plotted. And when it went up, we had an arrow telling us that there's a likely reversal. So there are multiple instances where you can enter the market using any contract. So even if you duplicate this in a new tab and you say, I want to go look at let's look at another one. Let's go look at the 6B as an example. 6B, okay, we right now on the cusp of these markers being left behind. That's where they are right now. I don't know what's going on yet with price. I don't know if my, okay, there it is. So like we're on the cusp now. So we may even get an error here for a reversal. Okay, let's change this one to YM. Now this is YM 10 range. Again, we've got these markers left behind. The price came and touched over through all over the place. you might want to select a larger reset range on this. So you can go template, you can go load, and you can say, you know, I want to load up the NQ values on here because this is a larger moving instrument. It moves quite a lot. So then you've used this template. So whichever template that you are using, they are going to provide signals all the time. So you know immediately that, you know, these are not repainted. Okay, this is exactly where those markers were left behind at that time. So you can basically switch to any instrument that you want to trade and load it up on the chart. If you want to trade oil as an example, you can load up the oil chart. Now, I don't know why that's not working, but like that is, you know, you've got quite a few different, you might want to go gold. You might look what gold is doing. You're going to see the same thing present on that. Now this hasn't moved too much, but you know, you get the picture. There's a lot. You know, Russell 2000 is another great one to look at, and also provides, you know, these signals where the price is reacting around these levels. You know, and another thing too that you will notice is that you may have a marker left behind, the price breaks through and another marker presents. That's like a continuation one. That's a continuation. So extremely powerful. Jump on that, because that's like they pumping the volume in to change direction, and then they confirming their direction change by pumping even more volume in. So it's literally, it's on a plate for you guys. So I'm sure you guys can see that, you know, if you just use a bit of money management with these tools, you can gain consistency with it. And when you have kicked ass with this and you've created some good returns using this, then come and explore what else the DTB system has. I mean, I'll just, as an example, I'll bring on another chart from another screen. You know, we've got a lot of other things in play. So like as an example, this is the NQ on the 10 range. We're wondering, okay, why is price reversing? What is price doing? And we saw on the previous chart how the price went down over here, but you know, look what it's done. It touched the 61.8 5-minute Fibonacci levels. So there's extra levels that, you know, are available to those using the full DTB system, because you're going to get extra confirmation of why price is doing what it's doing. Like as an example, the price came all the way back up to the 50% 5-minute Fibonacci level. That's where it is now. You know, the price is going to be reacting around the Fibonacci levels that the DTB system has. So, you know, there's so many tools that are available, you know, once you have gained consistency with the complementary tools, you know, to take your trading to a completely new level and actually create a full-time income. You know, we have a whole different level of chart templates and a whole different level of, you know, of tools. And as you can see, a strong fundamental indicator is your complementary indicator. You know, they form a huge you know, part of almost every template. You know, this is one of where I've got an advanced retracement. So again, telling us, you know, where the price is, where the Fibonacci levels are, and you'll be absolutely amazed of how powerful these levels are, how price breaks through, touches, comebacks, touches, breaks through. You know, these levels are in play all the time. You know, we've got a few different ones there. You know, these are all different simple moving averages put together on one chart. So instead of loading a 15-minute, hour, 50 moving average, 200 moving average, you know, all the different moving averages, it's all presented on one chart. And we have got a support and resistance indicator loaded on here too, showing you also extremely strong points of interest. So when you're looking at different signal charts and you're deciding, should I be long, should I be short, you know, these are the tools that give us, you know, extra consistency. We've got a whole different level of volume analysis. I mean, the stuff that we have is is beyond anything that exists in the market. I mean, nobody is optimizing and analyzing volume as much as what we are doing, with the DTB system. And not only that, we've got automated strategies. Now, I was doing some work earlier on one of my automated strategies. This is the Medina Wick Trader. This is one of them. So just starting and pausing strategies based on what we're seeing on signal charts, entering positions. So, these are constantly, you're able to really take trading to a whole new level, fully automated. I mean, what you're looking at over here is you're able to adjust settings in real time for a strategy without having to stop and start it. You can adjust your stops, you can adjust your targets, you can add features on and off by spacing out your trades. We've got absolutely incredible tools that for the serious trader who wants to take their trading to a completely new level. So that is what we have on the automated side. We've got a lot of different functionality that does not exist. I mean, there's nobody in the whole trading community that has anything where you can adjust your settings of your strategies as a simple thing while a strategy is active. You can start and pause it. You can choose your direction bias, whether you want to go long only or short only. You can add and activate and deactivate different signal charts to make sure you're always on the right side of the market. So the functionality that we have in the complete DTB system is beyond any single thing that exists. And I'm not just saying that because I made it. It's my passion is trading and also creating revolutionary stuff. I'm not a shitty company who just goes and heavily markets a crappy indicator, has a very, very low budget little indicator and then spends thousands of dollars marketing the shit out of it, promising people $1,000 a day, for some crappy little tool or some useless automated strategy that's got no functionality, where you just basically hope for the best and then they give you a whole lot of fake results. I'm not going to harp on about this because I did this on the other call, but we have exceptionally powerful tools, and if you guys can use these complementary tools, if you can use these and gain consistency with them, make money with them, then you are well on your way to a very successful and profitable trading journey. And then you will definitely want to reach out and take it to a new level, because even though these tools are going to get you to the stage of being consistent where you can earn from them, I'm not going to tell you how much they're going to earn because that's total bullshit. I don't believe in doing that. But depending on what account you have, what account size you have, what your risk tolerance is, your money management approach, if you can gain consistency with these tools and make good money with them, then reach out and take it to a whole new level. But first, guys, I want you to be successful trading these first. Okay, it's not going to help working with it's not going to help working with a much larger suite of tools if you are not becoming consistent with something as basic as this. And it's not basic. This is not basic. This is extremely advanced for what you're getting. But if you cannot be consistent with this, you're not going to be consistent with even more powerful tools. It's like if you can't drive a freaking a Fiat, what's the little Fiat called, or a Mazda Miata, you're not going to be able to drive a Ferrari, right? Well, that's basically the same thing here. If you can't make consistent returns using tools that have put it on a plate for you, you sure as hell are not going to make money with even more powerful tools. So I'm really looking for those guys who have got their head screwed on, who are looking for somebody to partner up with and trade with, you know, that has got the goods. I mean, I totally believe that, you know, we've got the goods. DTB System has got the goods. Nothing else even remotely comes close to it. Okay, that's my rant. That is my rant over. So yeah, like I said, I'm just working on some automation here. I was doing some edits over here to the strategy earlier, so this is going to be released to my group a bit later on. You know, just providing amazing tools to trade the markets consistently. Okay guys, thank you very much for jumping on, and I hope that wasn't too long, but I'm going to try and chapter this. I'm going to try chapter this this video to give you guys a more concise or precise areas where you want to go revisit, especially if you want to look at specifically the shadow trading indicator, the volume indicator, and see how they work together. I believe that this really provided that. So, you know, use this, and I look forward to seeing what you guys can do. There's a Discord chat, you can post screenshots and kick ass with it. I really want to see you guys kick ass. And again, 100% freaking complimentary. Okay, who does this? I'm doing this. Okay guys, chat soon and have a goddamn good one. All right, cheers.